Ready.
Angel Reese officially puts the Chicago Sky on notice. We're not doing the same thing this offseason that we did last offseason. Stop bringing me bums to play with.
Recently, Angel Reese spoke with the Chicago Tribune and made it clear that she's not content with the team's current trajectory. She called on the Chicago Sky organization to bring in some of the league's top players to help elevate the roster. That's a bold statement. But here's the context. Reese currently leads the league in turnovers despite missing several weeks of the season, and her efficiency around the rim continues to be a concern. In fact, her struggles recently led to a suspension. So while Reese is advocating for major changes around her, some observers believe the Sky may actually need to evaluate her future with the team. This raises the question, is Angel Reese being overvalued or even overhyped at this stage of her career? Comparisons to Caitlin Clark, who's quickly established herself as one of the league's brightest stars, are only fueling the debate. What do you think? Are you on Team Clark, the rising star, or Team Reese, the player with potential but plenty to prove?
Stop bringing me these players. I want the best of the best. I want the upper echelon.
Angel Reese is fed up. She's tired of the losing. She's tired of being the gum on the bottom of the shoe of the league. She is fed up with the Chicago Sky, and it looks like Angel Reese wants out. It looks like she wants out.
Angel Reese may have put herself in a difficult position following her recent comments to the Chicago Tribune. In the interview, she was direct about her expectations for the Chicago Sky, stating she would not settle for a repeat of the season and emphasizing that acquiring top-tier talent was a non-negotiable part of her future with the franchise. The remarks were not subtle. Rather than projecting the image of a franchise cornerstone eager to grow alongside her teammates, Reese's comments came across as openly critical of the current roster. That dynamic has fueled speculation about whether the Sky might eventually consider moving on from her, instead of the teammates she appeared to single out.
Let's see what Angel Reese had to say. I'm not settling for the same shit we did this year. Oh boy. Reese told the Tribune, we have to get good players. We have to get great players. That's a non-negotiable for me. I'm willing and wanting to play with the best. And however I can help to get the best here, that's what I'm going to do this offseason. So it's going to be very, very important this offseason to make sure we attract the best of the best, because we can't settle for what we have this year. Overhaul this roster.
The fallout from Angel Reese's Chicago Tribune interview didn't just ruffle feathers. It reportedly infuriated both teammates and veterans around the league. According to reports, the situation escalated to the point where a locker room meeting had to be organized to address the aftermath. That's not the sign of a healthy team dynamic. That's damage control. For a player still working to establish herself in the league, sparking that level of internal disruption is not a reflection of leadership, it's a sign of dysfunction. Among her remarks, one of the most controversial appeared directed at Courtney Vandersloot. Though sidelined for the season with an ACL injury, Reese dismissed Vandersloot in terms that implied she was too old to be part of the Sky's present or future. The comment struck a nerve. Vandersloot isn't just another player. She's a respected veteran point guard with championship pedigree and a reputation as one of the best floor generals the WNBA has ever seen. Carelessly brushing aside a player of that caliber doesn't just insult Vandersloot. It risks alienating the broader community of veterans across the league who know she's earned every ounce of respect.
We can't rely on Courtney to come back at that age that she's at, Reese said. I know she'll be a great asset for us, but we can't rely on that. We need someone probably a little younger with some experience, somebody who's been playing the game and is willing to compete for a championship and has done it before. Courtney Vandersloot, by the way, two-time WNBA champion, 5-time All-Star, 2-time All-WNBA first team, left the New York Liberty, a championship caliber team, to come help out the Chicago. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. Oh, dang. Oh, dang. It's all right, Courtney. It's all right.
The irony here is hard to miss. The Chicago front office had already taken deliberate steps to build around Ree. They made a significant move by trading away Sonia Citroen, who, it should be noted, is currently in the midst of a Rookie of the Year race and has already earned an All-Star selection in her first season, in order to acquire Ariel Atkins. That transaction was specifically designed to provide Ree with the kind of established win-now talent she had been asking for. Instead of acknowledging the investment, Ree publicly gave the impression that the staff and roster were never sufficient. From a management perspective, that's a tough pill to swallow, given that they sacrificed what could have been a future franchise cornerstone to accommodate her needs. What complicated matters further was that Ree's criticism extended beyond veteran players. Younger teammates, including Hailey Van Lith, were not spared. The overall message implied that the team as a whole was either too old, too average, or too soft. As a result, veteran players felt disrespected, younger players felt minimized, and the locker room dynamic shifted. Ironically, the one figure meant to unify the roster became the central point of frustration. Ree's intent may have been to spark urgency and a collective rally, but instead, the tension turned inward and squarely onto her.
We need great players, and I don't know what that will attract that. Maybe the practice facility will attract that, we'll see. But I think the priority is being able to convince free agents that this is an organization that is going in the right direction. I think honestly, it would be a leap of faith for a great player to come here and show that this is something that they want to be a part of, and we can bring that championship mentality. A leap of faith to think that a great player would want to come to Chicago. Oh boy.
When evaluating her on-court impact during this stretch, it becomes clear why the power play ultimately backfired. If a player positions themselves above the rest of the roster, the expectation is that they deliver consistent dominance to justify that stance. Instead, Ree emerged as the one out of rhythm, the player who struggled to fit within the very system she had been pushing to reshape. In many ways, the vision she outlined ended up revealing an uncomfortable truth the organization may not have wanted to acknowledge. Chicago's biggest challenge might not be the roster she criticized, but Ree herself. What makes this even more difficult for the team to reconcile is that while she was calling for upgrades and demanding elite talent around her, she was unable to consistently execute one of the most fundamental aspects of her own game: maintaining possession and limiting turnovers.
Hey, it's not all her fault. Her teammates stink. They gotta catch that, right? Right! Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? Scooby, put down the butter. Butter pecan! Bang! This time of the year's the best. You got pumpkin spice football and Angel Reese layups. Bang! Final play of the game, Angel Reese clutch gene. Womp, womp, womp. That's my Barbie. Bang!
The question has to be asked: what if the very player calling for a roster overhaul was, in reality, the one undermining her own team's performance? That appears to be the case with Angel Ree. On the surface, her production looks respectable, averaging 14 to 15 points per game along with double-digit rebounds. At first glance, those numbers suggest solid contributions. But a deeper look tells a different story. Despite missing several weeks due to injury and logging fewer minutes than many other top players, Ree currently leads the entire WNBA in turnovers. That statistic is striking. It means that even with limited floor time, she has accumulated more giveaways than anyone else in the league. Rather than demonstrating dominance, this trend reflects carelessness with the basketball. Precisely the kind of inefficiency that undermines the credibility of her demands for roster upgrades. There is a difference between playing with assertiveness and simply forcing the game. In Ree's case, the issue extended beyond aggression. What emerged instead was a pattern of impatience, poor decision-making, and a lack of composure under pressure. The concerns were not limited to turnovers, either. Discipline became a separate and equally pressing issue. Ree frequently engaged officials, often to her detriment, and allowed frustration to manifest in technical fouls. For a player positioned as a franchise cornerstone, that lack of control is damaging, not only to her own reputation but to the team's stability on the floor. By mid-season, the pattern had escalated to the point where Ree reached the league's disciplinary threshold, recording her 8th technical foul. Under WNBA rules, that automatically triggered a one-game suspension. For a team already trying to find consistency, losing its star player in that manner was particularly costly.
And watching the bottom of your screen, the contact by Reese.
You can see Angel's right hand. Got Aaliyah Edwards on the head. And if they do, Lisa, I'm okay with that too, because I think you have to officiate these teams very tightly.
So it'll be a technical foul on Angel. Remember,
The growing perception is that Ree has become a liability, someone a franchise cannot confidently build around. In contrast, Indiana has positioned Caitlin Clark as the model of a professional, team-first leader, the kind of presence the WNBA can rally behind. With Clark alongside Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, Lexi Hull, and Christy Wallace-Cunningham, the Fever's future trajectory appears increasingly promising. For Chicago, however, the picture is far less encouraging. What was meant to be a foundation for contention now looks unstable, with optimism shifting away from the sky and toward their rivals in Indiana. The contrast underscores both the potential of the Fever's young core and the frustration surrounding Chicago's current direction.